Backyard wrestling fans, what's going on? It is me, the Messiah of the Art, Anthony Aries, here for another episode of the Undisputable podcast. But for this episode, we're gonna do a little different thing here. I got obviously Gunshot, Chase Steele, whatever you want to call him, the man over at Hellfire Wrestling. Now he's actually going to be the host of today's episode of the Undisputable podcast. Yeah. I'm not going to be the host. I'm actually going to have Gunshot be the host and ask the hard-hitting good questions to dive deep into the man behind Anthony Aries. So make sure you follow Hellfire Wrestling on YouTube and on Instagram. We'll link it in the description and all that stuff. Look at this. I'm having Gunshot host the damn podcast before Chris Dynamite has even made an appearance on this goddamn podcast. You see, Chris Dynamite has said this was me and his podcast, and he was so hyped to do this podcast. And we're on episode, what are we on? This is episode like 8 or something like that. And Chris Dynamite is still not on the podcast. And before he's even returned on the podcast, we have Gunshot hosting the damn podcast. So what the fuck, Chris? Where are you? And the thing is, I hit up Chris Dynamite all the time. Yo, dude, let's do a podcast. Oh, man, no, man, I can't. Excuses, bitch ass. We're supposed to be fortunate. I have my biggest rival currently, Gunshot, host the damn podcast with me because Chris Dynamite can't do it. All right, before I lose my mind, Gunshot, the podcast, the Undisputable podcast, the best backyard wrestling podcast out there is all yours starting now.
All right. Now that we've got out of Aries talking, because this man talks way too fucking much.
All right. Listen, you don't got to roast me. All right. I gave you my damn podcast for the day.
Okay. All right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way. Yeah, Chris, where are you? You was on the first episode. And now you're not. You haven't been on an episode in a while, man. What the fuck?
Hold up. Real quick before we get into today's podcast with the new host, Gunshot. One night only. We're gonna look and see. This is episode 8, right? And episode 8 was about 3 weeks ago, so almost like a month ago. It's been a while since we did a podcast, but me and Chris's podcast 5 months ago. 5 months, all the way August 23rd. In 13 more days, at the day of the recording, because we're doing this on the 10th, it's going to be 6 months. 6 fucking months since Chris Dynamite has appeared on his fucking podcast. Supposed to be my brother in fortune too. What the fuck?
Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I got a few questions for Mr. Anthony Aries. This is going to be some hard-hitting questions. Question number 1 is, before we started this, did you make sure to clear your search history on your computer?
No comment.
No, okay. Second question. How does it feel knowing that when Gunshot comes to FBW, he's going to beat your ass?
All right, listen. First of all, Gunshot is not going to beat my ass now. Look, Gunshot, honestly, I've seen your tape. You know that you can't beat the Messiah of the Art. But I am a 7-time world champion. I would be an 8-time. But FBW owner MJ doesn't want to count the self-proclaimed co-championship reign that me and Chris Dynamite declared at the Royal Rumble. He doesn't want to recognize that me and Chris are actually co-champs. So technically, I'm an 8-time world champ. I don't care how many times you won. They're not really relevant.
I won 8, so, that's one.
Yeah, but they're not relevant. All right, look, your channel hasn't had that many subscribers till Anthony Aries got along. Anyway, now, you're gonna ask some real damn questions, or
you
want to hop off and you come down here right now and beat your ass.
No, I got a few questions for you. I got a few questions. So how did the man Anthony Aries get started? What made Anthony Aries?
All right, so now we're getting out of character. We're like doing that like real shit.
I mean.
All right, Mr. Host. Anyway, so what's the question? How did I create like this whole Anthony Aries persona?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the Messiah, or just like Anthony Aries in general, like both?
Anthony Aries in general. And if you want to tell me Messiah, go ahead.
So like okay, so basically, back in well, okay, so way back, like way back, hell to fucking like when FBW started, and I was thinking about like names. I couldn't think of a name. Not gonna lie, I don't know. Like I thought about some name ideas, and I don't know. I couldn't come up with a name that I was like satisfied with. Um, so back when I used to play like SmackDown versus Raw or whatever, when I was like little, like probably like 6 or 7, my character on the game, his name was Razor Rage. Now I don't know where the fuck I came up with that or why I came up with that, but Razor Rage just sounded fucking dope when I was like 6. So my character on like SmackDown versus Raw 09, 2010, 08, my character's name was Razor Rage. So when we started FBW, I was like, I wasn't going for Razor Rage, but I ultimately said, fuck it, I'm gonna be Razor Rage. So when we came back and started doing FBW, in 2014 and trying to make it legit, um, I was Razor Rage. So for Summer Chaos 2014, when I fought Colin the Beast, and then at Bash 1, I was Razor Rage. But then I quickly realized, me being, what was I, like 12, 13 years old at the time, I realized that my like 80-pound, scrawny ass little middle school self was not some dude who, because when you hear the name Razor Rage, what do you think of?
Do you think a muscular guy with
You think of some
fucking
like Brock Lesnar esque, like
yeah,
Dominator. Yeah,
dude, fucking
well,
like tattoos and shit?
yeah, like that wasn't me, 12 years old in middle school. All right. So just the name wasn't fitting my physique. I mean, now I'm a god. I mean, you could shit. I look like a Razor Age now. But anyway, so no, so I quickly realized like that name's just it's not gonna work. So I couldn't think of anything. Um, so I saw a character from ESW, Extreme Showdown Wrestling, MOD, the Master of Disaster. At the time, I didn't really know what MOD stand for. I mean, even though like now it's obvious it's Master of Disaster or whatever, but I kind of like the idea of having like initials, So I was like, you know what, fuck that, I'll go with initials for my name. So my initials for my name is ALM. So I was like, you know what, MOD, he's cool. His name is initials. So fuck it, I want my name to be initials. I think it would be cool. So my name was ALM. Uh, and after a bit, like MLD, his initials stood for the Master of Disaster, right? Something cool. My name was just my initials of my real name, right? And it didn't really have a cool meaning. And I don't know. So like over time, I just lost like interest in it. I thought it just wasn't cool or whatever. But every time I thought about a name, uh, I couldn't think of anything that like I liked and would stick and sound cool, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick with ALM. And then when we did 2020 came along and we built the ring and we were gonna, become more legit, than we've ever been. I knew at that time I needed to change, and I needed to change my name. So uh when my daughter was born, that really helped. Now, everybody in FBW uses their real name, right? Because we have Eric Danger, his real name's Eric. We have Chris Dynamite, his real name's Chris. We have Jared Payne, his real name is Jared. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna use Anthony because that's my real name. And I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking look like anything but an Anthony. I mean, I don't know. So whatever. Um, and I wanted one of the big things I wanted to uh have when I made my new name was meaning. I wanted like a story behind my name. I didn't want just to have like a random name like fucking AJ Impact. Which I think was one of the ideas that I had. Like, there's no meaning behind it, AJ Impact. I just thought about it sitting on my couch. I want to have a cool story about it. So when my daughter was born, her like her like sign thing, what was it called? Like the her like what the fuck is like she's like an Aries. That's her like her sign or whatever. Um and I was like, fuck it, Anthony Aries. I like that. And then I took like the Aries symbol and then I put an A over it, and I had my girl draw it out and like touch it up. So Ruby made the name or the logo for Anthony Aries, and I created the name. Now I kind of was, I loved it, right? I was like, Anthony Aries, that's dope. It has a good meaning. But then I thought about Austin Aries, and I was like, I don't know if this is good that have like Anthony Aries with Austin Aries because he's like this popular wrestler. Which I mean, some people kind of, make fun of and tease me about that, but yeah. So I kind of want to pay a tribute to my daughter, you know. So Anthony Aries came along, and I wasn't sure what Anthony Aries was or who he was. He kind of just was just like a badass ALM, just upgraded. And then I eventually came up with the Curse of Aries when I kind of was going a little heelish, kind of like anti-hero thing. But that kind of really didn't go nowhere until one day I thought about the Messiah of the Yard character, and which I personally think is my best work today. I'm not gonna lie. Besides the evil art stuff, which we'll get into that if you want to, Mr. Host. But yeah.
Okay, so one question I've always wondered: what was the hardest match that you guys have ever filmed? Like, you know, like because it was because of like I don't know, let's say like you were injured or somebody you're wrestling like has a disability or something. What's been like the hardest match you've ever filmed that you had difficulties with?
In terms of just like in terms of weather, two come to mind. One of them was the first one was me versus Eric in Danger from Arrival 2016. Because on that day, surprisingly, in Florida, it was 46 degrees outside. And we filmed late in the evening, so the sun wasn't really up. It was 46 degrees. It was kind of windy out. And we didn't wrestle in jackets because the last time we wrestled in jackets was No Love 2015. It was Eric versus Chris, and it just didn't look good. It looked sloppy. It didn't look good. It didn't look professional. So it was cold. I was like, we can't really wrestle with jackets, so YOLO. But getting hit and stuff, it stung. I remember I took shirtless bat shots. Eric taped me to a ladder, and he lifted up my shirt and he whacked me with a plastic bat. Uh, Fuck, man, like a handful of times or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it stung because obviously, like, when it's cold outside and like you get slapped, like it sucks. It really does. Um, which was my idea. I knew it was gonna hurt, but I was like, fuck, it was a good spot because we did that spot in our Iron Man match a couple months earlier. Um, but the second one, because of weather, that was really hard was me versus Chris from Karma last year in the Iron Man match. Um, that it was so fucking hot that day. And where our ring is, there's no shade over the ring. So now we normally film like, anywhere past 3, because that's when like Chris gets off of work and like my girl gets off of work, and then like it takes us like 45 minutes to get up there. So we normally film later in the evening or whatever. But this day we had to film in like midday. So the sun was at its peak. There's no shade, and it was hot. It was a hot fucking summer day. It was close to 100 degrees, and me and Chris had to go 30 minutes. And holy shit, like 15-ish minutes into the match, I was done. Like, I remember one time in the match, when Chris was going to set up the table in the ring, um I started to get dizzy because it was so hot and I was sweating so much. So like when he like clotheslined me and I was just laying there as he was setting up the table, like I just remember like looking up and like just everything was spinning. And like I got dizzy a couple times in that match because I mean, shit, I don't work out. I'm a fat fucking dad bod motherfucker over here. So I was exhausted. I remember looking at the clock just thinking, holy fuck. Like, because in an Ironman match, there's no getting out early. There's no, all right, man, let's call a finish. Let's get out of this early. Like, we're going the full like 30, Towards the end, like I tried doing a lot of rest holds and just sitting there in like a headlock or something. But man, man, that day it sucked. And you can ask Chris, he'll tell you the same thing. Um, you know, and then matches, because like disabilities, obviously Jared. Wrestling Jared at first, it's hard because there's a lot of things he can't do and things that you can't do to him because of his disability. So like it kind of takes a little bit, and you kind of have to really be smart about it when you wrestle Jared. And at the time in the beginning in like 2016, we weren't that smart and experienced in wrestling, so we didn't know what to do with him. So we had him just be a general manager and ref for most of 2016, because if you look at his early matches, his wrestling style and ability was pretty shit. Like he would just hit like 2 feet in front of you or whatever, because he didn't know how to work, and we didn't really know how to train him and like condition him or whatever. But when he came back in 2018, we really learned how to like get him to work better, which if you look at his 2016 run and his 2018 and on run, big improvement and difference or whatever. But I remember my first few matches with him, like it took a bit to like get used to wrestling him and like learning what works and what doesn't work or whatever. I know like when you come down, if we plan on doing a Jared Payne match, we'll see how you fare up. But like just it's just like you just gotta know what you can do and what you can do.
I remember one of the matches you told me was hard for you to film was the one you had against Ethan Hawks when your ankle was messed up.
Oh yeah, so I twisted my ankle playing with my daughter right before Showdown, and I couldn't really walk on it. Like when we did Showdown, I was just being able to like walk on it like with the brace on. So like what I had was I had the brace on, I had a compression sock, and then I had it wrapped. So like I had it really like held up. But that was when I was first starting to be able, because for a couple weeks I wasn't able to put pressure on it. It sucked working and all that stuff. I was on crutches for like a week, but I said fuck the crutches, I ain't no bitch. But yeah, so I remember one time I told Ethan to watch my ankle. Like I told Ethan, don't fuck with my ankle. He threw me up on top of the little well that we have, and he pulled me down right on my ankle. So when he pulled me off the shed, I landed right on my ankle, and I almost re-injured my ankle. But luckily, like I said, I had it taped. I had it with a compression sock, and I had the brace, and I had my shoe over the brace to give it all more cushioned and keep it all up in there. But yeah, no. Yeah, he fucking like stepped on my fucking. Or he didn't step on it. He just fucking threw me down on it, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Told him to watch my damn ankle.
Yeah. I think the hardest match I ever recorded was invading Indiana when I had a match against Captain Law's fucking cousin. Bat that had like barbed wire wrapped around it. It's like one of those plastic bats you could buy from Walmart that's like for the Walking Dead show, right? Like, you know what bat I'm talking about, right? Like the plastic one.
Yeah, Lucille or whatever her name was.
Yeah, he actually hit me with a bat, and I had bruises on my arms and legs for like 2 weeks because he fucking actually hit me with the bat, and I didn't think he was actually going to hit me with it. Like, obviously, as we know, wrestling is scripted. So obviously, if somebody hits you with a weapon, obviously they're not actually going to hit you with a weapon, if you know what I mean. But he fucking full on beat me with the fucking bat. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, after I was so pissed. Like, after the match, I was like, bro, you actually hit me with the bat. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, literally. And like, I completely went off on him too. I was pissed. Like, I was like, bro. God. And then not only that, right? That's not the only time he fucking stiffed me during the match. He went to go do a low blow, right? And he actually punched me in the dick. too.
Oh, that's happened to me. Chris, he's fucking stiffed me with low blows before. Fucking bitch
And
head.
I was so fucking pissed. I was like, bro, you actually fucking like. I was like, bro, you actually punched me in the dick too. I was like, bro, you full
Yo,
on fucking
so
dick punch.
talking about dicks or whatever, to that came out wrong. But anyway, talking about like dicks and the hard matches to do. When me and Eric, Danger had that 30-minute Ironman match from Revolution 2015, the first ever Ironman match in FBW history. So the first fall, I believe Eric got the first fall, and we did this thing where he did an assassination, a reverse DDT or whatever, and then whatever the fuck the move was. But he did the assassination DDT on me early on in the match. And when I went down for the DDT and I rolled into it and I sold it, I cut my dick with a stick that was on the floor. There was like a twig or whatever the fuck, and I cut my dick or whatever. So I remember after that he pinned me. I got up 1, 2, 3 or whatever. I got up and I ran. So we had like at this event we had a tent and a curtain. We had like a little entrance made, you know. I ran back there behind the curtain. I looked. I was checking in my dick to see if there was blood. I scratched it. There wasn't really blood, but there was a cut. And I was like, oh fuck. So I'm there looking at my dick, checking it out, and then Scott Viking, who was on the camera, he comes. I'm like, oh shit! I quickly close my pants, and then like Eric's coming. I'm like, fuck that, I need a little break. So I ran out the other side of the curtain, but I had to go fucking like 20 more minutes or whatever into that match with a fucking dick that was stinging because I cut it on a fucking stick or whatever. My fucking luck. Bro, you could actually see it if you go back to that event. You'll see where I cut because I immediately grabbed my dick, and then you can see me. He films me going back to the fucking the entrance stage.
I'm not laughing at that. It's just the fucking part that you cut your dick on a stick and then you ran back in a fucking curtain.
The dangers of wrestling on the ground.
Bro, that reminds me so like fucking CBW fucking 2019, right? Summerfest. When I was living in a trailer, I was having a match against Deadpool, and I've had some pretty bad experience. Like Deadpool, the guy behind the character Jackson, he's a really cool dude. Like really cool dude to hang out with and shit. But there's been a few things that happened with me wrestling him before. Like for New Year or not you, what's the backyard uprising? He was wearing steel toe shoes and he kicked me in the rib cage. Like actually kicked me in the rib cage.
Oh fuck that!
That shit hurt. And he was wearing steel toe shoes. I think you can see it in the footage. I don't know if you saw it because I know you edited the footage.
Honestly, like, I don't remember because like after that I had to edit so many like BYW and shit.
Yeah, I remember when I reposted it to my channel. Like I can remember when I was editing it, I could see the part where he kicked me, but that's not the worst injury I have ever gotten. So I remember Summerfest 2019, we had to re-record twice because the first time we recorded it, my fucking neighbor came outside and started screaming at us because the trailer, right? We were throwing each other into his trailer and it was making a noise. And he came running outside. He was screaming at us. So we had to turn the camera off. And so then the second time we went to go record it, my leg got stuck underneath the trailer and I had to rip the shit out. And I busted my fucking leg open. Like I cut my fucking leg open, like trying to pull it out from underneath the fucking trailer. And I had to go to the hospital to get fucking stitches. And my mom was so pissed because that same day I got stitches. I decided to try to record it for a third time, which I did. Like I shit you not, I got stitches put in my leg in that day. And I went out there and filmed it a third time. And the third time was the success finally.
Oh my God, dude. I hate it when like people interrupt. Like I remember when we were filming the build up to the reunion show in 2017 and we did the assassination appreciation night. and Eric burned the FBW title. Um, when we started to burn the title, Eric was like there watching it and selling it, and then Chris Dynamite came out and they did a little brawl that we left the title burning. So like obviously it'll burn for a bit, and then like we'll put it out and like show the damage, right? Well, I was filming them like fighting, right? But I was standing next to the title on fire, which it really wasn't like that big of a flame, and I was like watching it and stuff while filming that, right? Well, my neighbor, she comes out and she's like, "Oh, that's on fire." And we're like, "Yeah, we're filming something here." And then she's like, "Well, I'll put it out. That's dangerous. Do I need to call the fire department?" So we had to put out the flame or whatever and then refilm, like, because she interrupted right when the brawl started. So we had to fucking refilm all of that, dude. It was so annoying. I was like, I don't know if I have it on tape, honestly, because I think like once she walked out, I cut the camera before her bitch ass started talking. But yeah, she overreacted. Like I knew it. Like she was acting like we were just letting it burn and about to burn down the whole fucking forest. Like I was standing right there next to it and I was watching it, keeping my eye on it. But then again, the flame wasn't even that big. But no, it's whatever.
Oh damn, that's nuts. What would you say? What was your favorite match that you've done in FBW so far? Because
honestly, right at this moment, I have to go with me versus Chris, that Iron Man match from Karma 2020 or 2021, my bad. That Iron Man match, man. I watched it back the other day or whatever, man. If you fans or Gunshot, you're a bitch if you haven't watched it. But if you fans out there haven't seen it, man, go check out me versus Chris Karma 2021 30-minute or 30-minute. I think it was a 45-minute. Was it a 45-minute? Man, I don't even know, but definitely check out that Iron Man match, me and Chris Karma 2021 for the undisputed title and the King of the Yard title. That match was a banger. Things got a little slow and sloppy towards the end, but I mean, overall, looking back on it, I think that's a good thing because we were going a hell of a long time, and we're out there in the heat doing all this stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, we are going to get tired, we are going to get fatigued, slowed down, but so really, bomb ass match of the year, match of my career. Still like bomb ass match. I know another match up there, me versus Chris from the first explosion, BYWN explosion. The finish was because it was a no contest because Dante Kruger came and beat up Chris. But besides that, leading up to that bomb ass match, Wi-Fi interruption there. I don't know what got cut out or whatever.
It was the part where you were talking about it was the what was it?
The BYW explosion match.
Yeah.
That leading up to the no contest finish, which I mean, a lot of people probably get like about when it comes to what makes a match good or not. Having like a set finish helps. But leading up to the no contest finish, great match. Another one that's up there, me versus Dante Kruger from Battle Yard 2021. When after me and his match, I came out and called him out. We had like a fun little match that was pretty bomb or whatever. Me versus him from Endgames 20. I have a whole list, but if we're talking about just like the number one, probably the me versus Chris, the Iron Man match. Just everything in that match. It was smooth and everything.
My personal favorite match of FBW was the in-game match between you and Chris 2019, the steel cage match. I fucking love that match. I liked how like Chris came out with the burnt FBW title and the T divisional title, and he came out as the demon. Like that was dope.
That match was really good. That was like the second cage match in FBW history. But Chris Dynamite was supposed to win that match, but at the time, when he was dealing with teens court because he got into a fight at school and just going through some personal issues, that was a dark period for Chris. He was grounded his parents wasn't really allowing him to come down, but they allowed him to do this one event because they knew this event was important or whatever. And, they came down to watch. I was pissed, you know, not at Chris because, shit happens, just should he, did the shit that he did to deal with teens court and do all that crap? No, but, he's going through a dark period. So, it is what it is. But I was pissed that I had to win. I did not want to win. I wanted to drop the title for him. And I think when I ultimately beated him in the cage, it meant like Chris was on fire. Like when Chris Dynamite broke away from AAW and he turned face and he won the undisputed title, he was on fire. He was a top baby face, bringing in a lot of views. Everybody loved him, cared about him. He was hot, like red fucking hot. And then I became red fucking hot when I turned heel on him, and I was saying all this shit to him on the first showdown, the second showdown, and all that crap. Now, I had a lot of heat, right? And when I was getting a lot of fucking heat, he was gaining a lot of fucking baby love, right? And just he had to beat me that night, because if he beated me that night, he would have gotten over, way over, and then I would have gotten a lot of fucking heat. Because the match was great. I was getting heat throughout the whole match, but because he wasn't gonna be able to make the next few weeks, like I couldn't give him the title just to miss out and not appear, So I had to beat him, and after that, he just never recovered. He never recovered, and then he got fired because his personal problems just became too much. And me and FBW management, who was Ruby at the time and shit, just couldn't deal with it, so we had to let him go, and he just never really recovered from it. And then when he came back later in 2019, just the fans just really weren't there no more.
Yeah, no, and obviously, like, he's good now. Okay, so
who's pissed to ever win a match, right?
So, is there any ideas for championships you ever wanted to bring in that you never really got a chance to bring in? Because there was a few for HFW. Like, there was one time we wanted to bring in a television title, but then we're like, well, we're not really on TV. So then there was the idea we had for a Mayhem championship, and then MEBW, they did their Mayhem tournament. So we're like, well, we can't do that now. And then we had this idea for this international championship, and that didn't really work out either.
Well, one title that I've wanted to bring in for a while was the King of the Yard title, which I ultimately did, and then the 24/7 title, which I ultimately did. But if we're talking about titles that like I wanted to bring in, like one title that I wanted to bring back, which we came this close to bringing back, was the T Division title. Twice actually. There was 2 times where we almost brought back the T Division title. That was one when we brought in the King of the Yard title. It was either we brought the King of the Yard title or we brought in the T Division title. One thing that pushed me away was the T Division title stood for the teens division, because we're all teens, right? Or we were teens. But obviously we're all grown up now. And the King of the Yard, I wanted to do a King of the Yard tournament, and I wanted something new. I was like, why not we just bring something new, right? So I brought the King of the Yard title instead. After we merged the titles or whatever, actually no, I take that back. Before we merged the titles, there was a plan to retire the King of the Yard title and replace it with the T Division title. I don't really remember how we were going to work that out. But we were going to retire the King of the Yard and bring in the T Division title, which the Intercontinental title that I had, like the new IC title had, was going to be the T Division title that I was going to make. But then we ended up getting the Pro title, so that's scrapped or whatever. And then that IC title, fun fact, got turned into the HFW Global title that I made personally, which, for Gunny. Maybe if we had more time and more roster members and just more money, I would have loved to have like a YouTube title, like a YouTube title, like kind of like a TV title, but obviously we're not on TV, so like it would be like a YouTube title, like a media title. That would have been cool. I thought about bringing back the 24/7 title under like a new name, like maybe like the Insanity title. Or something like that. That would have been cool.
Um,
There were talks at one point to have like a Florida state, like there's a US title, but like a Florida
yeah.
state title, like a Florida heritage title, since we're in Florida. Those were all ideas that were brought up at one point, but obviously ultimately never came to be.
Well, what about just a heritage title? Like, what if you came up with a belt and called it the Heritage Championship?
Um the reason why the Florida Heritage was because a company called ACW, American Combat Wrestling, who's a part of the WWN, in my town, they have a Florida Heritage title that they had. So I was like, fuck it, that's not a bad idea because like it's kind of like a Florida State title where like like he's the champion of Florida, like the U.S. title, but like just for the state of Florida. I thought about it. That was one of the titles that we were thinking when we were going to replace the King of the Year title because the King of the Year title just fell flat, and I wanted to just restart with the secondary title. But it would have been cool to have like a Florida thing and then have like a Florida State Classic, for the title or something. But
there is one title that I wanted to bring in for the longest time, right? And I heard this. I heard it one day, and I'm like, that would be a really cool idea because of what it stood for. I don't know if you know what patrimonial stands for,
no.
but I've wanted to bring in a patrimonial championship because it stands for pure gold, like pure prestige, and I thought
Shit.
that's kind of a cool idea.
Talking about belts, bringing belts in, I kind of wanted to do like a BYWN belt, like the World Wrestling Net, or is it the World Wrestling Net, whatever it stands for, but the WWN, they had that title, and it floated through Evolve and FIP.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I was like, how the fuck would we, we do that? Not everybody can travel and like, collab like that. But man, I just wish, we just had more people, more time, more money, more means. But it is what it is.
Yeah. But I think what was cool about like the idea of the patrimonial titles that patrimonial has two different meanings. Like it stands for pure gold, and obviously championship gold. You want that pure gold, and it stands for heritage, like prestige and all that. So I was like, that'd be a really cool idea one day.
I feel that, yeah, not too bad. Now, real quick, guys, I'm sorry about if there's any like internet issues. My internet's being fucking dog ass right now. I don't know why. We had to restart this little recording session because it wanted to be a little bitch. Hopefully, I didn't lose the first batch of this podcast because I stopped the recording, then I started a new recording. So hopefully, it renders out both of these clips. But back to you, Mr. Host Gunny Shot.
So the BYWN title, would that be called the Explosion title or just the BYWN title?
Just like
and
the
how would that work?
BYWN, just the BYWN champion.
Would it be defended on the FBW channel or just the BYWN channel?
The BYWN channel, and then like, but then again, I don't know how that would work because like one, how would people win it? And then sending it around, that would be a fucking hassle. Because then you gotta like worry about like, is people actually gonna send it off when like someone has it? But then again, how would people win it? Because not everybody has the means to travel, meet up, wrestle, and like do all that crap.
One of my favorite things that's going around in backyard wrestling right now, right, is that they have this thing's been going around since 2019. There's actually it started off in TBW, not Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, but the other TBW that MEBW did their crossover show with, the one that TBW, right? And it was a part of DSW2. They had an international title. And I remember at the Silver War pay-per-view, the title got put on Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes took it to JNA, and Jake Frost won the championship, and then Jake Frost lost it to Jet Johnson, and then Jet Johnson lost it to Christian Archer, and then Christian Archer took the championship back to ATW, and Christian Archer dropped the title to some guy named Cody Blaze, and then Cody Blaze recently dropped the title to Jack Delta, who's currently holding it. So the international title is a really cool belt. Like, it's full custom. It's on a green strap, which is different. And I dig the green strap belt. Like, I like people who do things different with their straps. That's one of the reasons why I really did the East Coast title that CPW uses, because it's on a purple strap, and that's so different.
Purple looks nice. Yeah, purple looks nice.
Like, I really dig the East Coast title being on a purple strap.
Yeah, I like purple. I don't know. Purple's just been really rocking with me because I don't know, like the main Anthony Aries logo that I use is like the purple version now. I don't know. Purple's kind of grown on me. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I like purple. Purple's cool.
Now, guys, if real quick before we get on to these, questions that Gunshot has coming at me, which, come on, Gunshot, you said you were going to ask some hard-hitting questions. You building up to it or what?
I got some hard-hitting questions.
Are we not at that level yet?
Oh, I got a hard-hitting question.
But guys, real quick, before we get into the rest of the questions or whatever, if you guys definitely like this podcast where I have somebody come up on here and interview me or whatever, pick my brain or whatever, definitely hit that like button and let us know in the comments, and all that stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll have Gunshot come back on here for another episode and interview me, and, get into my mind or whatever, and ask me some questions. Or I'll have somebody else come if somebody else wants to do the honor of hosting the Undisputable podcast. But yeah, guys, let us know.
Here's a hard-hitting question: if the Therius Walker comes back to FBW, what would he do? Like, what would he do? And would you have a match against him? If he comes back, that's the question.
If he comes back to what roster? To the roster now, or like a roster with like Dante Kruger and like Ethan Hawks and all that?
The roster now.
So the roster of me, Ruby. If he came back right now, I feel like he has to go into a program with Chris. I feel like he has to go into a program with Chris and then get to me. Now, the reason why I say get to me second and then go to Chris first. Okay, so his first match was against me, right? His second match was against me, right? He took my title. And then his third match was against Chris, where Chris took his title. Now, he would come back wanting his rematch clause. Now, if we had Eric, that's a different story. But like you said, we're not talking about, we're just talking about the roster now. So since he can't get to Eric, here's what I would do. I would have him come back demanding Eric, but he don't get Eric, right? So he'll come out on his first show and call out Eric. Eric don't show because Eric's retired. So his thing would be like, fine, Eric, you don't want to come out me? I'm gonna go after who's close to you, and a man who took my title. So he's then gonna go straight into Chris to kind of like forget about Eric. So then he starts his feud with Chris. Does he win that feud? Maybe. Does he? I don't know. He goes into the feud with Chris, right? And as he's doing this feud with Chris, he gets the attention of me. Obviously, because me and Chris are on a tag team, I have history of Lavarius Walker. So then I start getting in Lavarius Walker business. So then after he finishes up his feud with, Chris, regardless if he wins or if he loses, he goes into a program with me. We do our little program. Now, when me and Lavarius Walker finish our program, if we can manage to get Eric to step out of retirement, that will be his end goal. and then have his final blow off match with Eric, which for a fact, Lavarius Walker would win and Eric would do the honors and put him over.
Yeah, so this is
now,
something.
would he deserve another reign? He's a liability. You know, when you leave FBW like that, you become a liability. There's trust issues, but if he's in it for the long haul and if he's in it 100% dedicated for sure, trustable, I mean, fuck yeah, he deserves another reign. I mean, he's great, dude. He's really fucking talented, you know. So maybe he does win the title of Chris is still champ if he comes back.
Yeah.
But the angle has to be aired. The angle has to be aired. Student versus teacher.
Right. Man, I wanted to ask you this for the longest time. Do you think that you would ever do a spot where you go through a flaming table, or do you? And this is another thing. Do you ever think you will get hit with a light tube?
Flaming table. I've thought about it so many fucking times. We tried doing it when we got the ring. I don't remember when, but Chris shot it down because he's like, my parents will probably have a conniption fit. Tried doing it at my house when we had no ring, but I was like, nah, my parents are gonna have a conniption fit. I remember me and Chris, we actually tested out fire. We lit a cardboard, a piece of cardboard or something on fire, little piece of wood, and we would, you know, fall onto it and shit and see like if the fire would go out, if we would get burned. And the test went great or whatever. So we did try doing fire and shit, but ultimately it never came because just like my parents and his parents probably would have had like a freak out if we lit something on, you know, fire. I would have loved to do it. Who knows? We still got time. A light tube. I don't know about that.
I mean, light
not
tubes
that I'm scared or anything. Actually, at No Love 2021, I asked Chris if he wanted to do a light tube, and he's like, "Fuck, man, you need to give me time to mentally prepare." Because I asked him like last minute before we started filming. He's like, "If you would have gave me like a day or two in advance," he's like, God, he would have probably done it. But yeah, I don't know about light tube, but fire we tried. So, yeah, but
light tubes aren't that bad. Like I've gotten hit with them before. They only sting for about a second, and they don't really hurt that bad. Like I feel like people make them out to be worse than what they are. They're really not.
Yeah,
that bad.
I mean, I've never got hit by one, obviously, but I don't know. They don't look like they hurt, to be honest.
I mean, like, I'm not going to take one over the head just because I have a lot of hair. You can't really see it on camera, but I have a shit
fuck that.
Hair.
I don't want to risk getting cut in the eyes and shit.
Yeah, and like I don't want to get glass stuck in my hair, and then when I go to take a shower, I my foot. Like I don't want that to happen, obviously. So not over the head, but I've taken them over the back. I've taken them over the stomach. I think one of the coolest spots I ever did, which YouTube took it down due to it being too violent. But I did a match where we had this whole thing of light bulbs, and I decided to have the person put the light bulbs over my back and hit it with a shovel while the light bulbs are over my back, just for a bit of an extreme spot.
The most extreme thing I did was the sand spurs. That's the most extreme thing I've done.
Dude, sand spurs look like they fucking hurt.
They suck pulling out too. And if you don't pull them out good, you can then get splinters.
Yeah, fucking dude, that's just no. Fucking yeah, but YouTube took I got a notification the next day, and that was like 2019 we posted that shit. I got a notification on my Gmail the next day saying YouTube has removed this video for violence. And then because 2019 YouTube, they would actually spot where the violent part of the video was. And it, believe it or not, it was the light bulb spot. I was so mad because that was one of the best matches I ever had. And it's not on YouTube now because
I feel that
YouTube had to be a fucking Karen. Oh man, there's something I wanted to talk about on here. Fuck it, since we're recording. Can we talk about that situation between you and TBW?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we need to ask the hard hitting questions. I figured let's just address the elephant in the room, you know.
So, do you want to tell the backstory to it, or do you want to, or do you want me to?
I'll go ahead and then tell the second part of it. So, to the guys who don't know, I'm good friends with Anthony Steele. Okay, me and him have been good friends for a little bit. So because I'm good friends with him and I'm good friends with James Taylor, I support TBW. I don't support them for everything they do. They've done some pretty fucked up shit that has kind of made me draw away from them, especially recently. I made a post about Ledger winning the world title like I normally do. If you go to my Instagram page, I always congratulate somebody on winning the
Ledger
belt.
actually tried coming down to FBW to collab because he came down to Florida the other year to see some family, and he tried coming down to do a collab thing, but just didn't have the time, like on my half.
Yeah. So I made a post about him winning the world title. I was like, hey, yo, congratulations, like I normally do with other companies. Like I did it with Aries before when he's won belts. But I congratulated him, and Aries being character, not really saying anything character. All he did was put a thumbs down, gets suddenly attacked by half of the TBW guys.
Not in character.
And the only thing I know from that, because I wasn't paying attention to what was going on, I kept getting notifications on Instagram, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I was playing Among Us, right? To the guys who don't know, this is like out of wrestling. I'm a part of a YouTube channel called the McBlurks, and they record video games, and we were recording Among Us, and all I see is my Instagram gets blown up, and then you had messaged me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you tried to call me, and I was like, okay.
So here's what. Okay, so I like to shoot the shit with people in the community, right? I like to comment on people's stuff in character just to see if someone wants to jab back, playful, nothing disrespectful, just playful, some just fun stuff. Like I remember after this situation, which we'll talk about, I did it with CJ from UWA, Underground Wrestling Alliance. Me and him, we did it. I did it with Jared Black from UWA, who used to be, you said SVBW. And both guys, I hit him up after and I said, yo guys, thank you for being in character and just being cool about it. In fact, this is going to be a shocker. I did it with Captain Law, a man who's known to be toxic and start shit. The man who's put dirt on Gunshot's name for stupid no reasons. But anyway, so I did a random thumbs down, right? I was like, fuck it, I'll just do a thumbs down because it was like the first post I saw on my Instagram. I was in the mood to start some shit for fun, jab backs, just a little like, oh, I'm the fucking superstar here, like something like stupid like that. So I put the thumbs down, and nobody responds, right? So I think like a day or two, a couple days go by, and then Fat Asian responds. And he responds out of character. And some of the key points that kind of alarms me that he wasn't in character is how he's saying he's worked hard, he deserves it, blah blah blah. Now I probably should have messaged him and been like, hey yo, chill, it's just a character. But I'm like, you know what, let me show him I'm in character, to maybe loosen him up and go. So I respond to his comment that was out of character in character to show him I did my little Messiah crap and I made it obvious. Then I text him saying, yo, I'm in character. Let's not try to get too butthurt here. Let's try not to get toxic. He then responds to that out of character, really getting at me And then next thing I know, like 3-4 more people come from TBW and their friend group, and they start fucking like full on out of character harassing me, shitting on FBW, shitting on me as not a character but as a person, and just really going at me. And then saying, and then I started texting them being like, yo, like I'm in character, let's like chill the fuck out, like this is wrestling. um so then they don't respond to me in private messages. They comment being like, oh, you can't be in character if you don't have a character, you need to learn the business, this and that. um so they just want to be really toxic about it and talk their shit. um then they actually reported my account and got my account fucking like suspended for like 2 days. um and me when when they were just attacking me, I like all I could think about was, why can't we have fun? Like, just because I'm not from your company and from your wrestling friend group and I comment something, that doesn't mean I'm trying to start shit. And I had a really good conversation with Jared Black, who is in, he does a little stint in UWA. Doing this is a good way to meet people. You jab at someone, they jab back, then you could hit them up, be like, hey, yo, I have some good insults, nice to meet you. And then boom, you meet a friendship. You know how many people I've actually, like CJ from UWA, never talked to him before. I started a little shooting the shit thing on it on a post, and then we talked for a bit that night. But when they were like attacking me or whatever, out of character and just being really toxic and stupid, I just started thinking, why can't we have fun in backyard wrestling? When did the fun stop in backyard wrestling? Why does, when I comment on your post and just because I'm not from your company, why do you got to assume I'm talking shit? Like, this is wrestling. We're all characters. So if I comment something, don't assume I'm talking shit until like I make it obvious when I do some red flags. People are just really childish. They told me I need to learn the business. I need to, have a character. To being just people like them, they're not fun. They don't know the business. Because if someone comments on your shit and you think they're actually talking shit in wrestling, you don't know the business. Come on, it's fucking scripted entertainment. We're characters,
right? And I must fucking say this now, right? There was one dude. There was 2 comments on the whole
real
thing.
Quick, before we start shit again, me and Fat Asian from TBW, we texted eventually after a couple days later, and we actually got on good terms. He kept on trying to see. I think he still low-key thinks I was trying to start shit, because he's like, just next time, don't talk shit if you can't back it up. And I kept on repeating, I wasn't trying to talk shit. I was just trying to start a little fun little jab back, a little shooting the shit for fun. I told him that was a meaningless thumbs down. I was just trying to meet somebody, trying to see if someone can, give a clever insult for fun, not a personal attack, which you did. But we got on good terms. He offered, I'll travel down to Florida for a collab, but I don't know if I'm interested in that. But go on.
No, but there was fucking 2 comments on that post that pissed me off. One of them was from a kid. It's part of WPF. There's a little 13-year-old kid by the name of Trenton Crusher, and he commented on that post calling FBW fat blowjob wrestling. Let me tell you something, okay? You are literally a 13-year-old child. First of all,
was that a part of the whole Fat Asian situation?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, no. Okay, I remember that comment. He really was 13.
Like, bro, you are a 13-year-old child. Stop commenting on a situation to do with fucking adults, saying some
they called this fat blowjob wrestling, and then they were like, learn how to fucking do real moves, learn how to make fucking match cards, learn how to produce better. Like that shit, that's not a character. That's you're trying to degrade a company.
Yeah, like no. So Trenton Crusher, all I'm gonna say to you is you are a 13-year-old child. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that now. And if you get pissed at me, so be it.
You
Fuck
know,
you.
and that's the thing. Like, look, I understand everybody wants to be the best, and you have to have a little ego and competition. But why can't we just have fun? Look, at the end of the day, we're all kids who love wrestling and want to be or maybe
Right,
not want to be pro
right,
wrestlers, but we love wrestling. Why can't we just all work together and make backyard wrestling great? Because
right.
what's best for business is companies working together and putting on some damn good content. But when you want to venture out and do fucking crossovers like, oh my God, Anthony Aries, he comments on someone's post from UWA. Oh my God, like blah, blah, blah. And then like I get personally attacked. Example.
But yeah,
Not that it has
no. And
happened.
then
UWA and me are cool, but like just like shit like that. Like, come on.
there's another thing that pissed me off about that was the fucking commissioner guy, the fucking
Don't get me
Russell
started.
Cooper.
Don't get me started. I
No,
think he's had one match or whatever, but this man wanted to tell me, learn moves or whatever. Bitch, you're a fucking commissioner. You don't fucking wrestle. I've seen clips from his one match. It was pretty fucking shit.
Yeah,
And then he wants to tell me I need to learn how to wrestle. I need to learn moves.
Yeah, no.
Come on, shut the fuck up.
His comment pissed me off about when he said, "Why'd you go eat an alligator, fucking Florida man?" I'm like, bro. First of all, people that are in Florida don't eat fucking crocodiles. Like that's kind of offensive for one. Like
Okay,
you're gonna
and then you should just go fucking eat a bale of hay, cowboy shit. Look, I have no beef with TBW. Honestly, I just don't care about TBW. I don't watch their crap. I never will watch their crap. You know, honestly, I haven't really been on like we tried collabing with them in 2019 and they tried getting us to pay them money to use their name. From that moment on, I knew TBW, they weren't cool. And I think with TBW, their problem is, and problems with other companies, but we're not going to get into, when somebody thinks they're famous and they have 1,000 subscribers or more, they get corrupted by fame. They think they have a little fame, their ego grows, and they become corrupt. Prime example, TBW.
Yeah. Do you know if any other company out there in Florida that you would like to work with that's backyard? I know about one other company, but the kids are like young. There's another backyard company out there in Florida called MSW.
I've heard about them. Yeah. They
It kind of
definitely got
sucks
some good
that
content. I mean, yeah, they are young.
yeah, they're like 15
I'm not
to
gonna lie,
14.
their content. I saw one of their matches, and like just hearing them like scream and like act all mad and just sell, it kind of was a little cringy because they are young kids. But I mean, now shit, we were all that one day.
Yeah, and like
I don't
for
know
young
what
kids,
part.
they have
I don't
good
know what
wrestling.
part of Florida they are, but they've never contacted us. I don't know if they would be interested in a collab. But who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe
like
they're close to us. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what part of Florida they're in, but they've never contacted us. I don't even know if they know who we are. I mean, they should because we're the face of Florida Backyard Wrestling. Hell, our name
yeah,
is Florida Backyard Wrestling because we're the face of it. But definitely, they can definitely be the face of Backyard Wrestling when FBW stops to be like a little passing of the torch if they keep up with it.
yeah, no, that'd be really honestly, that'd be cool if you guys do a crossover. The only thing, like, I
Pass the
think we'd have,
torch to them, you know.
yeah,
We
the
get
only
old,
thing I
get
think
out of
would,
it.
yeah, the only thing I think we'd have to be careful is because of how young they are. They're like 15 to 14, so we'd have to be like, hey, yo, let's not like too terribly shoot on them and promo. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, MSW, if you want to work with the face of Florida Backyard Wrestling, contact us. Instagram.
yeah, contact them on Instagram. No, but the reason why I brought them up is they're from Florida. I thought it'd be cool, you know, MSW.
Yeah, I know they're from Florida. I don't know what part, though. I don't know if they're interested in doing a little collab. I don't know.
MSW versus FBW would be dope to see.
Yeah, but I think we would have to do the traveling. I don't know if they would. But then again, if they're in Florida,
I don't know.
but since they're so young, that might create issues. I don't know.
they might be able to travel and like because I was talking to Rez Gainer, right, the kind of main guy there, and he was talking to Kristen Archer about going to AETW, and that's all the way in Alabama. So, he was talking about working with Kristen Archer. So it seemed, and he said that his parents support him, and his parents will literally take him anywhere for wrestling. Like they'll travel out of Florida, so they could. I mean, they could head to you for traveling. So
I mean, if you're in Florida, I mean, I can probably do that, but I don't know. Like I said, MSW, if you're watching this, hit me up.
yeah, I think that would be dope.
I don't ask for collabs. Collabs come to me because I'm top
So
shit here, boy.
So this is an out of character thing. Who's the coolest guy you ever met in the backyard wrestling scene?
Besides you?
Yeah,
because I think you're like an obviously, like, hell, look what we're doing. We've done podcasts together. People know we're close. I've defended you through all your bullshit. Maybe like Sam Reeves. Obviously Jake Howell. He's a recent cool dude I've met. Sam Reeves. You and Sam Reeves are the two people that I've met outside of the FBW group who I became close with. Probably become more close with you than Sam Reeves. Sam Reeves, he's kind of left the community. I haven't hit him up in a while, but yeah, Sam Reeves, Jake Howell, CJ Junt, he's pretty cool. Striker, Devin.
I've become good friends with Striker. Like, I know I'm the CEO of ETW, so that's cool. Man, funny story. You're the only guy in backyard wrestling that I actually have added on Facebook.
Really?
Because like I don't really add my Facebook. I don't really add, like people from the backyard scene on Facebook that much.
I thought like another name that would have been on the list a little bit ago was like Josh Allen, but as TBW got more toxic and scummy, I kind of just pushed him away.
So is there ever would you ever do a death match per se?
Define a death match, because I did do a death match with Eric Danger at the reunion 2017. That's what we called it. We did Spurs. We faked the BB gun spot, but it looked real. And that stuff. But we labeled that as a death match. Technically, I've already done one. But what would you call a death match? Like barbed wire, light tubes, like glass, like that type death match?
Yeah, like light tubes, thumbtacks, fucking barbed wire.
Probably not. Just because it's dangerous. I don't want to fuck up my body. I got two beautiful kids. Just don't want to risk my health like that.
Any dream matches you have?
You obviously, but we're working on that one currently. Obviously, we have the program going on, which is pretty dope. But besides you, Jake Howell, I would love to get in the ring with Jake Howell, which before he retired and before he got UWA coming up, I tried convincing him to come down here and having a collab match, but he a bitch. Devin, or I guess now he goes by Devin Adams. That would be pretty cool. But I think Devin, with his size and like his like character, I think like he should face like a baby face, like ALM. Fuck, what am I thinking? Dude, it's late. It's almost midnight. I'm tired. Like a baby face Anthony Aries. I mean, no, actually, no. I think if Devin came in face, he can come in and just fucking manhandle the Messiah. But Devin Adams from CPW, he'd be pretty cool.
I'm glad that Devin finally gave himself a last name. Like,
yeah. Which helps. I mean, CPW needs to,
Right, and I'm happy that he's on GTS. I don't like GTS, obviously, but I'm happy he got on a big show like that. Like, I think after all the hard work,
is CPW still doing shows? Because I haven't seen any new stuff from CPW.
they're still doing shows from what I've heard from JJ Stevens, which that's somebody I actually want to work a match with. I would love to have a match
Yeah,
against
he would
JJ.
be. Yeah, he would be pretty cool too.
Like for such a small guy, like he can fucking put up a fight against bigger dudes, and like the fucking flips he
Bro,
does are like
I'm
fucking
so
dope.
happy that he's CBW world champ. He's deserved it. Honestly, he's a different. Hopefully, he gets a good title reign. Honestly, but any other dream matches? I feel like I'm gonna piss people off if I don't mention their names.
I got a few dream matches. Honestly, I would love to have a match against Anthony Steele, just because I think that'd be kind of cool. And obviously, I would love to have a match against Chris Dynamite. And
I mean, you are coming down to Florida.
Yeah, there's another guy I want to have a match against. He's not very popular around the backyard scene, but the Stingray guy from IWA. I think that's what it stands for, or is it IWE?
It's IWE, Internet Wrestling Revolution or Evolution.
Yeah, because like I would love to get something filmed for HFW between me and him, because I did notice on his channel he has very short matches, and he told me the reason for that is his computer runs out of space fast. And I'm like, bro, my phone can hold up a lot of fucking space. Like I told him if I come down, we should film something for iChannel that we could go like 30 to 40 minutes if you wanted. And he's like, I'm totally down for that. I would love to work a match with him. I got to figure out what state he's from again, and I will fucking come down and fucking work with that dude. Like,
actually, hold up. I think he's in Florida.
Stingray? For real?
Yep. I believe he's in Florida.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
Now thinking about it, yeah, I think he's in Florida. I don't know. I think he told me what part. I don't remember though. You know.
We have the group chat. We could always ask him.
Shit, he wants to come down with you.
I mean, shit, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, no, I would love to work with him. I love to work with JJ. I would love to work with Brandon Hunter from CPW, because I noticed he used to kind of like low key.
Yo, I feel like he deserves better. I don't know. I felt like he just hasn't gotten like a good run.
I mean, he's like East Coast champion right now, but like,
is he
Brandon
really?
Hunter?
Shit.
Yeah, Brandon.
I gotta look up their shit.
He's CPW East Coast champion right now, but he used to fucking suck at wrestling. From what I saw and from Devin told me, he used to kind of suck ass at wrestling. But Brandon Hunter has gotten so much better, like where I actually enjoy watching a Brandon Hunter match. And honestly, I would love to work a match with Brandon Hunter.
Man, I mean, I'm down to wrestle whoever is willing to travel to Florida. I feel like I'm at this stage of my backyard career where I can probably have a good match with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few guys from Sam Reed's Fed that I would love to have a match with, like this dude named Big Country, who's now retired. I would love to have a match against him if he was willing to come out of retirement. And there's a few other guys too that I would love to work matches with.
Yeah. Dude, Sam Reeves, that would be. I know me and him wanted to do a whole match, but he retired. Honestly, he wanted me to travel down for his final show, but you know, I can't travel.
I mean, shit. If he's willing to come out of retirement so the Messiah could kick his ass, I mean,
for real, right?
Yeah, that'd be dope. You know, and if he wanted to take on the Anarchist and the Messiah in a
talking about dream matches, I was talking to Jake Howell the other day, and I asked him, I said, if you had me down there, like, how would you book me? And he said my first feud and program that he would put me in would be with Buzzsaw Billy.
I like that, yeah.
So he's a smaller name. So I mean,
is there any show out there do you think could do a little better, like
CPW?
Besides CPW?
Well, no. I don't know if I've ever explained this, why I think CPW can do better. I don't know if I've ever explained that on a podcast, but I think CPW, they have really good in-ring, content. Just like they need to fix up their production. They need to start uploading shows all like together. They need to just edit it into like a full event video, not like match by match. They need to add nameplates, watermarks, um, commentary. They need to clean up their commentary, and not make jokes and shit on commentary. Clean up their video, their recording skills. And I think CPW would be a really next big thing in this community. Besides them, um, maybe CJ John's company.
Oh yeah, man,
maybe
no,
maybe make some more serious stars and have like a serious like I know me and him were talking about it. I don't think he does weekly shows. He definitely can't. I mean, talking about how hard it is. So maybe if he does like a once a month show or twice a month show, just serious, maybe do
yeah.
less of the 24/7 stuff, just focus on like maybe get like custom, tiles, not use
Yeah,
replicas.
like his wrestling show is good. Like he knows how to wrestle. Like his guys are pretty good. Like I like
Maybe
a lot
just
of his
clean
guys.
up the product and like get some more
Yeah,
serious
yeah,
stuff
like
going.
get custom titles because I mean obviously he's got money for it. I mean all his belts are replica, and obviously everybody knows how expensive replicas are. If he's got money to buy replicas, I mean as I told him in the BYWN chat, like get some custom ones.
Yeah, if he
And
has
the
money to buy replicas, he has money. Because custom tiles, they're not that expensive. They're definitely, I
yeah,
mean,
like
they're up
Brigade,
there in price, but they're definitely not as
like
much as a
yeah,
replica.
brigades are like cheap as hell. Like
Like
the
150.
title from brigade, yeah, like them shits are cheap as hell. Like so yeah, no,
Bro, people need me on their like creative team, their management team, because I would help out so much. People need my vision, my wisdom. Please, guys, if you're out there and you want my help and you want to use my wisdom and my vision and everything, bro, fbw.cursive on Instagram. Hit me up, please.
yeah, no, Aries is a lot of help with that. Funny story, had a character here. The idea for me getting stripped of the global title was Aries' idea. Aries was like, "Hey, got this great idea. You want to do it?" I said, "Sure." And
Well,
we
because
did that.
like when you were like, yo, like I really want to come down there, let's plan something out. I was like, okay, well, what can we do? Because you're in Indiana, I'm in Florida. How can we start a feud like that? And I didn't want to do that generic gunshot. I want you for a match. Come down to Florida. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted our feud to be different. I wanted it to like it was a little tricky because we have the CPA and like everybody knows we're close. I defended you and like all that stuff, but I didn't want to do that just generic stuff. So I told you, I said, yo, what if I bought Hellfire Wrestling, right? Because at the time I knew I was going into the Messiah of the Yard character. So I added the Aries worldwide thing, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I start becoming the Messiah of the Yard as I start helping people conquering places, right? So I was like, as I'm transforming, let me buy your company, strip you of your title. My power becomes more, and then that helps me go into the Messiah. But when I strip you and I buy your company, I start harassing you, and then I make you want to come to me. And it was just something different, something new, and not that generic. I just called you out, or
Yeah,
whatever.
and like I think because of that, that made me do one of my best promos I did against you for the New Year's Revolution show. Like you could
That was
tell,
fire. And I know before that you weren't really giving me good promos. You were giving me short promos, but you gave the fire. Like you gave the intensity that I've been dying for you.
oh yeah, I'm gonna bring more of that real soon too.
Which you cut another promo, which I don't know if it'll be out by the time this is out. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this one, um but yeah, our few guys we're really now I know we've been slacking a little bit, but we really are trying to make this feud something special. It's just kind of like a little standstill or like a slow pace because obviously like we're still trying to work out gunshot coming down. But once we get this going, like we're trying to work this out to make it entertaining or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh man, it was another. Uh, so if there's anybody besides Atherius Walker that you would that was an FBW a while ago that you wanted to bring back, who would it be?
Scott Viking. Now Scott Viking, he's a name that you have to be an OG FBW fan to remember. I'm talking about like an OG fan from 2015, early 2016 to remember. Scott Viking, he was someone who came. So he was at the first WrestleBash 1, but he was in the crowd just because like not everybody in my friend group participated at the first WrestleBash. What do you call it? What the fuck Chris is sending me? What the fuck? Anyway, Chris is blowing up my phone. Anyway, so Scott went to the first WrestleBash 1. He was just in the crowd. He didn't want to participate. WrestleBash 2 comes. Same deal. We invite him over because the first two WrestleBashes were all my birthday parties, right? Because like WrestleBash for the first two was like we do it on my birthday. That's why WrestleBash 1 was called Birthday Mania. But anyway, so he comes to WrestleBash 2 and he was just going to watch, right? Now, the original card was me and Eric, which happened, and then it was supposed to be Chris versus Colin. Colin decided to say, fuck FBW, I'm going to go fishing. So we were like kind of panicking, like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Now, at the time, Jared wasn't what he is now, where he's good, reliable, and can work a match really. So Jared really wasn't an option. Scott, he offered to wrestle. And at first, Chris, and we were like, you want to try to wrestle? And we were desperate. We're like, fuck, he can probably do it. Well, and not to throw shade at Jared, but he's not disabled, so he can probably put on a better match than what Chris and Jared could have done if we train him good. So we're like, fuck that, we can't waste no time. So we went out to the backyard. We trained him for like a half an hour to an hour, and he went out there. And when I tell you, some fans might remember, but for you fans who didn't have the pleasure and opportunity and the honor to see Scott Viking's matches, he went out there and faced Chris Dynamite in like a 15-minute banger at WrestleBash 2. Chris and Scott had one of the fucking best matches I've seen. And he had a good rematch with Chris again at Holiday Havoc 2015. And then he had a good match with Colin at Arrival, which ended up being his last match. But he was really fucking good. He was kind of like a Labarius Walker, where like he kind of was like a natural at it. Scott was, and he was fucking dedicated and motivated. But the only thing that everybody knows, which if you don't know, you can check out the Scott Viking documentary that we have on the FBW channel. He got bullied and he quit, and then he made he made us take down the videos, which me being a fucking dumbass, I deleted the videos and I didn't save the files like I do now. So I should have fucking privated them or whatever, because I can probably get away with like making them public like now, but I deleted them like a fucking stupid idiot that I am. But you know, and I didn't have any backups on the computer. But man, he was fucking good. I would totally have him come back now and maybe be like a masked character. I can see him being better off like under a mask like that. But yeah, Scott Viking for sure.
Yeah. So my last two questions here, right? So I did notice on your channel, right? there are some matches that don't get shown enough love. One of those matches that does not get shown enough love is the triple threat match at FBW Homecoming between you, Eric Danger, and Chris Dynamite for the T Divisional title. I really enjoyed that triple threat match, and it doesn't get shown enough love on the channel. I don't know if it's because it's so old, but to me,
honestly, I thought the Homecoming triple threat was better than the Rust Bash 5 triple threat.
yeah, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of that triple threat match. It doesn't get shown enough love. There's another match that I feel doesn't get shown enough love on the FBW channel is the main event of Wrestle Bash, Eric Danger versus Chris Dynamite in the steel cage. I feel like that match doesn't get shown enough love either. I enjoyed that match.
I feel like they could have been a little more like brutal, a little more aggressive, to be honest. But it was a good match. But I feel like it would have been an even better match if they were more aggressive because they were, they were like going in for like a blood feud. Chris was, getting revenge on Eric for using him during AAW's first run. But yeah, I mean, they could have been a little more aggressive, a little more brutal, but it is what it is. But it was still a fucking bomb ass match.
So is there any matches on the FBW channel that you feel like don't get shown enough love?
Maybe some of the showdown matches, because like when we were doing showdown, we were doing them weekly. So like, if you don't watch in a couple weeks, you can really get like behind me versus Chris from Showdown 1. Ruby versus Priscilla Clare, their first match from Showdown 12, which was a banger. Me versus Jared Payne, Showdown 14. That's like a hidden gem. Me and Jared had a really bomb ass. Me and Ruby, our matches get like fucking really good views. Like our Fight for All match has like 1,000 views. Our Battle Yard match has 2,000 views. But we have a match from Showdown 15, and it was a ladder match in the final showdown of the weekly series. That's another hidden gem or whatever.
Yeah, and there's some matches on my channel that I feel like don't get shown enough love. Like I got a match that I was doing for like a friend's birthday, and it was me and Max Savage. I feel like that match doesn't get shown enough love. In my BYW Collision 2 match against my brother, Justin Michaels, I feel like that was a really good match because we did like a full-on death match. I got stiff during that match because we had this like wooden stick that used to be like a rake. The metal part of the rake broke off, so we were using it as a kendo stick, but we weren't actually hitting each other with it. My brother fucking hit me in the elbow with it, and since it was snowing during the match, that shit hurt like really bad too because it was fucking snowing. It's like that shit when he fucking hit me with it. I felt this like stinging go up my elbow, and I'm like, "Ow, what the fuck?" He actually hit me with the stick, and you see me holding my arm.
Jared Payne, he likes his stiff with weapons, bro. He hit me with a mop stick at the BYWN New Year Revolution match. Fuck, man, he hit me right in my calves. God damn, it stung like a bitch.
Didn't Ruby stiff you with like cookie sheets before?
Yeah, Ruby, she's stiffed me with a cookie sheet so hard she welted my collarbone, and I think that was Fight for All 2019.
Damn, that's like nuts.
Which that was a really good match. Like it had some really good spots where like I went to go do the running knee with the cookie sheet that I used to do. But I couldn't hit it. Like for a second, I was like I like regretted it because I was like, oh man, I can't do this. She's my girl. And then so I got distracted and she took advantage, clotheslined me. The spot where we did like the rip cord into the low blow and then she like curve stomped me, that is a fucking banger spot. I loved that finish. And then she covered me 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then I did an emotional, oh, I'm losing my touch promo after that. I walked away.
Yeah. Shit. And there's a lot of good stuff in FBW. Like, guys, this dude right here, Anthony Aries, in character, me and him are dicks to each other. But out of character, this dude is one of my best fucking friends, man. I have not met this dude in person yet. This dude has supported me each and every way. Like
Yeah,
when
like when you were getting all of that shit from Captain Law and like the whole like I publicly defended you. I've always publicly defended you, and I've always
yeah,
stuck by
dude.
your side.
I think when that situation was still fresh going on, I think I came to you crying because I was like, literally, that was the only time. And I don't cry that much. Like I'm a pretty tough guy. I don't really show tears that much, but I think I called
Just
Aries
bullshit.
on Instagram. I think I called Aries on Instagram in tears because like people were bashing me in posts, man. Like they were calling me a
And the
pedophile.
sad part is some people stop being your friends, and they, but like throughout it all, I never really questioned, like, man, like, is Gunstar really not who he says he is? I never questioned it. I've always stuck by your side,
Yeah, man. I always appreciated this dude for it, man.
and
Like
we've known each other since
2018.
yeah, I think 2018. Yeah,
I remember I defended you with the King Dominator thing when that
oh,
was
that
like
shit
a
was so
thing. I was
stupid.
like, yeah, that shit was
How is
stupid.
King Dominator doing? I don't talk to him or anything.
He's pro now. He's wrestling on the indie scene. He goes by Steven Youngblood now
Steven
on the indie
Youngblood.
scene.
Look that up. I'm gonna go look that up. Steven Youngblood. Steven Youngblood.
But yeah, I remember people were bashing me in Instagram posts and they were calling me a woman beater and a pedophile. And I'm like I called Aries on Instagram and I was like, bro, I can't take this shit anymore. Like, and I showed him all the screenshots of messages and shit I was getting from people and posts I was getting tagged in and all this. And Aries like made a public post saying, hey, yo, this is bullshit. Leave him alone. And I was like, finally, somebody that I can actually trust, And I always appreciate you for that. And like, guys, this man right here has a great, like, FBW is great, man. Like, to the guys who haven't checked it out, show this man some love, man. Get this man to more subs. He honestly
one goal that I have, and I really want to hit before we stop doing FBW for good, is 1,000 subscribers. I want to hit 1K before we end and call it quits. That's my one final goal. And a tag team match. I want to do a tag team match, but the two goals. But
get this man to 1,000
the tag team
subs.
match. I want the damn 1,000 subscribers. Because to me, 1,000 subscribers, that's like the stamp of like approval. Because not a lot of backyard wrestling companies hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you can hit 1,000 subscribers in backyard wrestling, it means you're some shit. So
yeah, get this man to 1,000 subs.
Dude, for real. I want 1,000 subscribers.
Another guys, if you can travel, go to Anthony Aries. He's got a great show. He's got great people. Honestly, you would love to work with Aries. Other people out there that can travel, go to this man. Do a crossover. Jack Delta, I'm talking to you, dude. You got to work with Aries.
Fuck out of fucking. No, but like the thing is, a lot of people that push people away from my company is our small ring, but we don't even gotta have a ring match. I'll fight you in my backyard, no ring.
For real, this man wrestled in his backyard. He doesn't always use the ring. Jack Delta traveled to this man, have a match against Anthony Aries. Damn it! I'm telling you now, Delta. I hope you watch this. Go to this man, travel to this man, have a fucking match against the Messiah of the yard. Dude. The destructive Jack Delta versus the Messiah would be dope.
That would be pretty dope. I don't know if he's interested though. I don't know. I don't even know what Jack Delta even thinks about me not getting cap. I don't really talk to him.
I think he seems like he likes you because I mean I noticed like when you posted when you guys got like the real FBW like metal pro title. I noticed that he commented on that post.
Did he really? I don't remember.
Yeah. Like he was like, "Oh, that looks pretty dope." Like it seems like he supports you. I mean, and like when I was texting him back and forth, he told me he thinks you're he told me he thinks you're a pretty cool dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. But you got any more questions, buddy? Any more hard hitting before we wrap this podcast up?
Whatever happened to the Felix Crow character? That's my last question. That was my last question.
That's your last question out of everybody, out of anything you can ask this wonderful mind. But no, while you think about any more questions, Felix Crow now, you know what? He's never coming back. But so I'm going to expose it. Felix Crow was me. Felix Crow was me under a mask because I wanted more characters in FBW. So I bought a mask and I was going to do it, right? I couldn't find the look that made it where people couldn't tell it's me. Like the looks that I got, everybody knew it was me. What really killed the character was I couldn't talk because I didn't want to make it too obvious it was me. And if I sat there and talked, people would have known it was me. I couldn't find a look to make it like everything I put on just like it just looked like me. So I put them away for a little bit and I bought an even better mask because the original Felix Crow mask, which is this one, it's kind of small. It doesn't really fit too well. So I bought a better looking mask, which is right here, which is pretty fucking fire.
Oh, I dig that.
Yeah. But I kind of just gave up on the idea. I thought about putting Anthony Aries in a mask. I don't know if I will do this idea. Who knows? Time will see. I thought about maybe like the Messiah of the Art has his demon, like you know how like everybody has a god, and then like the devil, you know, like yeah, you have the angel on the shoulder, devil on your shoulder. What if the Messiah of the Art had its evil side? Because everybody has an evil side, right? So what if I created like a demon character?
Yeah, that's
or like an evil, like you know, an evil character.
Yeah.
What if the evil heart came back new?
Oh,
and
I remember.
improved?
I remember when you first became the evil heart. That was dope. I remember like your heel turn too. One thing it was like after the Chris Dynamite Eric Danger match, right? That's how silent it was, and then you came out of nowhere, fucking beat the fuck.
It
out
was
of Chris.
Eerily silent when I did that, and I turned heel.
Came out of nowhere,
it made the whole mood and just you know it just
yeah.
But back on with the mask. I've been thinking about maybe using the new mask that I showed you, the red one, as a part of the Anthony Aries character, right?
Yeah.
So everybody has their good and their evil, right? Well, I'm the Messiah. And now you can argue that the Messiah of the Yard is not really a good character to begin with, because you know I make some questionable, you know, decisions and actions. But what if I fully embraced my evil, right? Brought back a new and improved evil heart of the Messiah, and I came back with a mask and everything. More eviler than is evil or even a word? Fuck it. But more evil than ever. And I come on with a mask and I'm just even more dangerous. But I have the mask on. Now, how cool would that be? I've been thinking about it. I don't know if I should do it. But what if?
Yeah, I kind of do that with Gunshot and the Anarchist, like, because Anarchist is obviously my gimmick.
I mean, if you look at the mask, I mean, it looks like this is like a heel mask, like it's like an evil mask, right? So I put this on, and it's like, you know, like Finn Balor puts on his demon paint, you know, like Chris Dynamite puts on his demon paint, and he's more bad than ever. Like he's a different Chris Dynamite, he's a different Finn Balor, you know. It's kind of like, you know, you pull it out for the big match, right?
Right.
What if I did that for my Messiah character, but I had that? Think about it. Here, I kind of want to put on the mask. Fuck, I'm gonna put on the mask real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we end off the podcast with them putting on the mask.
Yeah, how do I look?
Oh, dude, that looks badass.
Yeah,
Should I
so like,
screen-
but like, what if like
screenshot it?
what if I like wore this right as like my like alter ego when like the match is like high stakes or whatever, and like
I like it. I like it. That's kind of what I do with Gunshot. Like, obviously, my gimmick's the anarchist, but I let the full anarchist come out when Gunshot needs a darker side of himself. You know.
Here, I'm gonna take this mask off. It's actually getting really fucking hot in here. Goddamn.
Yeah. I think that's it. I mean, we talked about
I
everything.
mean, I don't know. Maybe he might pull it out for a rematch against Ruby, or maybe I'll pull it out for a match against you.
I like that. I like that.
Who
And maybe
knows?
maybe I'll have to let the full anarchist out.
But yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, fuck it. It might be worth a shot. Maybe at least maybe once before FBW, ends. But
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we talked about everything. That's the end of this podcast. I mean, shit, this was like what, 2 hours now?
shit, I have no idea. But fuck. I mean, shit. I guess that's enough for today's episode. Well, guys, like I said, Ivan.
Oh no, I was gonna say, man, it's always an honor to record these with you, man. I always have a good time recording these with you.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
We can just shoot the shit, man. We can talk about anything.
Shit, might as well start our own damn podcast together.
All right, fuck yeah, man. I mean, I've called you my brother more than once. Like this dude. Okay, so there's actually a running gag with that too. This dude is like family to me. Like I've called him my brother, not just because he's defended me like family does, but this Aries kind of looks like me. We have similar facial hair, similar hair. What color are your eyes?
Mine are they. I think they're hazel, but they're more kind of like a brown hazel.
Dude, that's crazy. Mine are hazel too. They're more blue hazel though.
Sure, you my long lost brother. I know I'm adopted. Holy fuck.
And shit, I don't know. I mean, shit, you look like me, so that would make sense.
Shit. Honestly, fuck. Who knows? My son, he's starting daycare or whatever. So I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of free time on my hand, especially during the week. Who knows? Maybe you and me can start our own podcast for the Backyard Wrestling Nexus channel. Shit, we can definitely talk about it after we end this stream or whatever. Maybe like tomorrow, because I'm probably gonna fucking pass the fuck out, taking care of my goddamn kids all day. I'm tired as fuck. Hashtag father life. But no, who knows? Maybe you and me can make our own podcast and just shoot the shit like once a week or something for the BYWN channel and just talk. We'll both co-host and just talk the shit. Hell, maybe have guests or whatever, but maybe you and me could have our own podcast.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing I want to say. I know y'all were hearing this noise. It's my washer, so everybody can see it. It's my washer making that noise.
Look at him. Look at Gunshots. So professional doing his thing. Look at him. So mature. So grown up doing his damn laundry. But no, guys, if you like this episode of the podcast, and if you liked this style where I had a Gunshot, someone else interview me instead of me doing the interviewing, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I got a big brain. I got I got a lot of knowledge and some stories up here that, I would love to tell. Never die with a story, without it ever being told. Always tell a story. But yeah, if you guys want to see me and Gunshot, do this more often and make our own podcast, also let us know, because me and Gunshot are probably going to work this out. This would be pretty cool to have an official podcast besides, my podcast. It's supposed to be with fucking Chris. Where the fuck is Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I've already been on like 2 episodes now.
And Chris hasn't been. Now Chris is looking to move in actually next door. We're buying the house next door. Chris is moving in. So we We're gonna be doing more podcasts. Supposedly, he said. I'm gonna make sure this bitch ass holds up to it. Me and Chris got a lot to catch up on here on the podcast. We got a lot of fucking drama, a lot of stories. So, but guys, if you like this special episode of the Undisputable podcast, hit that like button. That's how we know you guys are liking this shit. Comment. Check out Hellfire Wrestling. Check out the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. Follow us on Instagrams. You can fucking find us. Come on, guys. But yeah, Gunshot, since you were the host of this episode, I'll let you do the final send-off and we'll get out of here, brother.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the love and the support and how me and Aries appreciate it. Thank you to Aries for being so cool, man, and having my back through a lot of shit that's happened. And that's pretty much it. Just ending it off here. Thank you all. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Make sure to follow the FBW account on Instagram.
Buy my merch, please. Buy my merch.
Yeah,
yes. Guys, my Patreon. Guys, Patreon, $5 a month. Exclusive content behind the scenes. Come on, guys. $5 a month. There's only one tier. I ain't even being crazy about it.
If you want to see Anthony Aries' ball sack, sub to his Patreon. He sells his nudes on there. Buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the ladies now. I'm saying? The Messiah lady grabber. But no, guys, Patreon, guys, come on, $5 a month. Not even that crazy about it. Uploads 2 to 3 times a month. That's my plan. We got in a very funny exclusive match of Chris Dynamite defending his undisputed title back in 2020 against a certain somebody by the name of El Bueno. You can find out who El Bueno was. Funny match. It was good, funny, bro. Come on, it's up on there. $5 a month. It's worth it. Come on, guys. I'm gonna be uploading some mini docs. I know I'm planning the making of the Black Hawk, Ethan Hawke story. That's gonna be going up on there. But yeah, guys, Patreon, merch store, support FBW because we use that money to make content better and more for you. All right, Gunshot, send them off, brother.
Yep. So yeah, make sure to follow the HFW Instagram, the FBW Instagram. Make sure to follow me and Aries on Instagram. If you want to know what our Instagram is, mine is Gunshot the Anarchist. Aries, what is your Instagram?
FBW Chris of Aries.
Yep. Go follow him.
And, actually, on the watermark and banner on this video, you'll see all the FBW social medias. But just make sure you check out Gunshot and at Hellfire or HFW Wrestling Show, I believe it is. You'll find the links. We'll link them and put them everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of it. Thank you all, and peace.